I'm honestly convinced that a specific corner of Booktok has lost the ability to function in a polite society. It's not about reading anymore. It's about these people using books as a permission slip to be a total creep in the real world. They've decided that because they pay for a Kindle subscription or buy paperbacks, the whole world is now just a prop for their personal fanfiction. They've developed this main character syndrome that is actually becoming a public safety hazard.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Before I start, let me clarify that Booktok hosts many different subgenres of romance like dark romance, monster romance, demon romance, sports romance, sci-fi romance, and even soft or indie romance. But a huge portion of them are very loud and problematic. These are the ones we usually see. So in this video, when I'm talking about the community, I'm not painting the whole Booktok community with the same brush, just a portion of it that has been doing some really very disgusting things. Let's start with the bookstore faves.
Let's go!
Recently, there was this incident of some people going into Target or Barnes & Nobles and taking graphic 18+ adult romance, specifically Heated Rivalry, which if you already don't know, is very explicit, and hiding it in children's section. I found this clip where someone took the dust jacket off the book Wonder and wrapped it around Heated Rivalry book.
Yeah, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Doing the good kids a favor. How twisted in the mind do you have to be to come up with something like that? For those of you who don't know, that booktalker just took a smut novel and hid it in the dust jacket of a children's book, risking exposing kids as young as 7 years old to extremely graphic on-page content. And yet booktalkers will still whine about judging people for what they read.
Absolutely disgusting, by the way. I almost puked, but let me stay focused.
Wonder is a book about a kid with a facial deformity that is meant for 8-year-olds, and these people thought that this would be the right book to swap with Heated Rivalry. They put it right next to Bluey activity books and Princess Academy. The captions state, "Doing the good kids a favor."
You're joking.
No, you're not doing anybody a favor. You're just a weirdo. You're manually breaking the age-appropriate firewall that the retail workers have to spend their unpaid hours fixing. And for what? 5 seconds of engagement on an app? It's not teaching them young. It's forcing adult fetishes into a space for children because you think real life is just a setting for your TikTok aesthetic. It's a complete breakdown of social norms. Imagine being the parent who finds that. Or the retail worker who has to police the shelves because a grown adult wanted to be edgy for the algorithm. It's hijacking digital tags like #Wonder to push smut onto unsuspecting feeds. It's just predatory behavior being passed off as a joke.
Okay, listen here, bitch. I'm sick of it. I am sick.
And when will these people leave kids alone? What you're actually doing here is completely stripping away everybody's agency. You're taking away a parent's right to curate what their child reads, and you're taking away an individual's right to consent to the media they consume. This is a community that preaches endlessly about trigger warnings, rating systems, and personal boundaries. Yet the second it's time to make a 15-second TikTok video, all of that goes out the window.
Why?
And let's be real, this isn't just about chasing 15 seconds of clout. It's about a deeply warped mindset. When someone hides an explicit adult content-filled book inside children's book with the mindset of doing the good kids a favor or gotta teach them young, they actually believe they're acting like some kind of progressive savior. They've consumed so much smut that their moral baseline is completely fried. They think they're liberating children from puritanical society, when in reality they're just imposing adult fetishes on kids who cannot consent to it. They co-opt terms like empowerment and sex positivity as a shield so that if you call them out for putting explicit adult content next to Bluey, they can call you a prude.
Your behavior is absolute filth. We just want to be able to read you for the trash that you are.
But the most deranged example of Booktok community's parasocial entitlement has to be the Alex Wennberg saga. So the hockey romance community decided that Seattle Kraken's pro athlete, Alex Wennberg, a real man with a wife and a kid, was their hockey book boyfriend come to life. They didn't see a person, they saw a face claim, a visual asset for their internal fantasies. Apparently, there's this TikToker named Kira Lewis who started making graphic thirst edits of Alex Wennberg.
Just look at that face. Don't it just scream? Sit on it. Hello. When I tell y'all I wake up every day praying to Jesus to turn me into ice, because what I wouldn't give to have this man glide on me. Hello, Alex. I know you just signed to the Seattle Kraken, but what's a sister got to do to have you crack this back? Hello. Girl, the eyes on this man could literally, he could suck my, well, I could do whatever. The eyes on this man is insane. Literally, he could snatch my soul from me and I would say thank you. So yeah, Alex, when you done playing your little game, go on and spit out that mouthpiece, because I got something else you can not spit on. Well, you can do that too, but I got something else to put in your mouth.
Brother, what's that?
Those videos went viral, and people started bringing that energy into the real world. Fans started recording him at his job, the ice rink, and posting it with smutty captions. They took it so far that even the official team account was getting tagged in videos that would make a Victorian orphan faint. The comments were vile, but Seattle Kraken's marketing team thought it would be a great idea to take this free attention. They were the absolute worst enablers in this whole mess. They weren't just watching, they were making their own thirst edits, leaning into the Booktok branding, and literally inviting the most explicit creators to games. They flew in Kira Lewis, invited some other Booktok creators, and gave them all custom Booktok jerseys.
Wennberg! What do you want? Can you do something? Oh, yes, you can do something for me. The pictures don't do Wennberg justice. This boy's a fucking Ken doll. Came away, what's wrong with you? Damn, I'm trying to be in between them legs. Or in between my legs. I'm gonna give this a fucking attention, man. Yeah, I like that. Get it. Baby, my kitty not used to being around this many fine men, man. That's my man! I love y'all!
Basically, they treated their own professional athlete like a piece of meat for engagement. Kira made a video where she told Alex to score in all 3 of my holes.
Alex Wennberg! Baby, I mean I got 5 holes, but I got 3. And since you're so good at assisting, why don't you assist your teammates in scoring in all 3 of my holes? Hello! Woo! Just look at their face. Don't it just scream? Sit on it. Hello!
Stop it. Get some help.
She also commented which player had deep strokes, which player had light strokes during the warm-ups. She actually meant something else, by the way. People were chanting "Crack my back" at Alex during the games where his wife and infant child were present in the gallery.
Crack my back! Crack my back!
When Alex's wife Felicia asked people to stop, the Booktok community turned on her. They called her insecure, jealous, clout seeker, pick me, all sorts of things. They said she was ruining the fun. What fun?
I'm confused.
Sexual harassment isn't a community event. Kira then made a video saying, "I didn't know he was married." Wait, does that mean harassing him would have been totally right if he wasn't married? Like, workplace harassment is okay as long as there's no wedding ring.
Are you fucking for real?
It shouldn't matter. If a group of men were saying these things to a female pro athlete, they'd be in a courtroom, not a TikTok edit. But because it's romance readers, they think they have a harassment pass because they've labeled it female empowerment.
No.
It's not female empowerment. It's not any empowerment. It's just replicating the exact same predatory gaze they claim to hate. You've NPCified a human being to the point where you don't think he has feelings or a family. Alex even had to mention that people were leaving disgusting comments on pictures of his infant child. That's how deep the rod goes.
Few things don't sit right with me with what Kira is saying. One of her main arguments was the fact that she created this content 4 months ago and the wife of the player is only bothered by it now. I think that's very harmful things to say because people are allowed to change their mind when behavior becomes inappropriate. And also, if this is someone's wife, like I saw some of the most weirdest comments on Kira's like TikToks being like, "Oh, why are people jealous? Da da da." It's his wife. As soon as someone's wife says, "I'm uncomfortable with this," there shouldn't be a whole back and forth situation. It should stop. I totally agree that the actual sports team who are benefiting off of this, they didn't take any accountability, they just removed blah, blah, blah. They are partly to blame. But this victimization of being like, oh, Kira's not owning up to the fact that like she commented very explicit stuff on someone's post, like these aren't fictional characters, these are real human beings. And I think that's my problem with like fan fiction or this. It's just like, these are real people. Like, it's not an idea in your head anymore. These are real people. And like, it's harassment. It really is. And I hate to be if the roles were reversed, but if it was, this would be totally unacceptable. But I think as people in like stan or fan culture, a lot of the times we get so desensitized in how we treat the people that we supposedly care about. And I'm also even more upset by Kira saying that like this was a white woman being mad at a black woman, because at the end of the day, everybody, regardless of which race, can say that they're uncomfortable and that shouldn't have happened. Might you be taking the fall for this? That's a different question. But I think that like by not playing the race card, because I hate when people say that, but by alluding to that without taking responsibility and recognizing that what you said made people uncomfortable, like what did that do? Now your supporters are harassing someone's wife. And even the hockey player who this is about, he had to take a step and say, "I'm not okay with this. This crosses a line." It's just quite messed up if you deep it. Like, it's bad.
And in between all of this backlash, the Seattle Kraken's marketing team didn't apologize. They just silently scrubbed their accounts and acted like the thirst-trapped edits never happened. It's the peak of unprofessionalism from a professional team.
Yeah, it's true. Ask about it.
Kira and the Booktok community had also scrubbed their social media and moved on to their new target. Disgustingly enough, this time they targeted a 16-year-old kid who had nothing to do with Booktok.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This one is an incident of a kid on TikTok by the username @jesse.b who liked motorcycles and posted videos of his book collection, which was mostly young adult stuff like The Hunger Games. Because he wore a helmet and rode a bike, Booktok decided he was their golden retriever bikertok.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
He had 16 in his bio. It wasn't a mystery. And yet, adult women swarmed this kid's comments. They weren't recommending any YA books. They were badgering a minor to read Haunting Adeline. I don't even have to remind you what that book is about. And these adults were telling this child to read it so he could learn to be a book boyfriend and be corrupted.
I beg your pardon?
My question is that why is a 25-year-old, a 30 or 35-year-old woman's fantasy more important than a 16-year-old's digital safety? Why exactly? It's not a joke, chat, it's predatory AF. You try to mold a real minor into a fictional golden retriever character for your own entertainment.
You are very old and you need to play your age and not 12. You are old.
This kid ended up deleting his accounts because he was being hunted by a horde of grown women who couldn't stop thirsting over a teenager. He lost his hobby, he lost his platform. And the adult women who did all this, they just scrolled away to find the next person to infantilize. They didn't lose anything.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
There's a huge empowerment trap here where these women think they're reclaiming power by being creeps, but they're actually becoming the villains they read about. The common thread is that a big chunk of this Booktok community has lost the ability to distinguish between fictional tropes and real human beings. They treat the real world like a scene in their head. The athlete is a character. The 16-year-old is a character. The children's section is a prop. They've become so desensitized by the 500 smutty PDFs they read every month that their moral compass is just a pile of dust. They think supporting a creator or an athlete means they own them. It's digital stalking. It is the death of boundaries, the death of common decency.